Hey everybody, welcome to Low Sit and Pinstripe. My name is Bob Runnings. I want to thank you so much for joining with me in the video today. Today's video is going to be on how to lay out a design that you want to pinstripe. I had one of my viewers ask me if I would do a video like this, so I'm finally getting around to doing it. I found out the best way to do this video though is to lay out the design and then explain how I did it, because it would just take too long because you stop and erase and stop and erase. So anyway, I've got it all laid out, and I'm going to shut this camera off, get it all set up, and then we'll go step by step how to lay out this design. So I'll be back with you in just a moment. All right, everybody. Well, I got the camera set up, and as you can see, this is the design that I laid out that I'm going to go ahead and pinstripe. So let's go through everything that how I do things to lay out designs like this. First of all, you want to make sure that you have a center line that you've drawn, whatever the width is, get you a center line. And then what I did is I started with this tall spear here that comes all the way down through. And what I do is I usually draw out the top of the spear about down that far on each side. And then what I will do is I take my ruler and I'll come down to the bottom of the spear actually, and I'll line up to the bottom of where I stopped up here, and I just draw a line down like that. This side you can probably see a little bit better, but I'll catch the bottom of the spear like that and just kind of keep it lined up, and then I will draw the line down the other side, and that's how I get this long spear. As you can see, this spear I did upside down. It's the same process, just that I wanted the spear pointing down on this end of it. And then here's the two spears that I made on the side. And what I did is I stopped them here, but then I kind of bended them in, and I'll show you how I got to this point here. But it's the same process. I'll just draw part of it off like this, and then I'll put the straight line on there, or my ruler, and then draw the line down like that. And then as I drew this line down into here like so, what I did is I've got a lid to one of the glass jars, to a baby jar that I use for my mineral spirits and stuff. And this bend here is how I got that done, is I just put it on there. And what I did is I go by past it a little bit like this, and I'll just draw that on there. Because after I drew that on there, what I wanted to do is I want to make this to come out like this one here. Let me flip this over. And what I did is I've got a lid to a Folgers coffee thing. And what I do is I put it on there like that, and then I'll just draw that line like so, and then I'll come back and just erase that little part like that that I drew out, and then that'll give me this curvature here like that. And then I usually sometimes will put a little dot right there, because that's where I want to start, and probably on the other side like that. And then what I did is I have this aluminum lid that I've had for a long time, and I didn't want it as a sharp a bend, so I want something that gives a little more length. So I put that on there and just drew it over to the end of that point that was on that. And then that gives me that whole shape there. And then on the bottom, I got a line going out, line coming back. As I use this lid to do that, I go like that, and then I come back, and then I use it to go on around like that. And then I used the metal one to make this line because I don't want it as sharp. I want it just more length. And then I drew a line right here to a point, and that's how I got that whole, excuse me, whole shape on each side. When I'm going along with all of this, I'm really meticulous of keeping everything straight, everything centered up. And so when I drew this line out, what I did is I came down with my tape measure, and that's about 7¼ inches down. So when I came over here, I did 7¼ and then found out how far in I was, and like 3/4 of an inch, and I'll draw a mark. That way when I put my middle thing on there, I know exactly where to draw it from, and that keeps everything really centered. You're not off or anything. It keeps everything really, how do I want to say, straight. I guess that would be the best word to use, straight. And so then I would come down. So I've got this top part like this already. So now I'm going to skip down in here. And where do I start? You're going to erase a lot. I bet I've erased 8 or 10 times putting just this design together. So I had these coming down. I had this top part, like I said, like this up in here. So now I want to come down, and what I did is I just drew this by hand. A little spear coming down around like this. And then what I did is I took this and I came, it's this one here. I came from that, and I came from the bottom of this spear, right here, and I just drew a line up to here. And then I used the other one to come inside of it like this. And that gave me this little design. So I want to keep everything, I try to keep everything uniform, you know, from big to more sculptured, and you can bring it out however you want it. Whatever catches your eye, that's what you really want to do. You know, whatever looks good to you, and that's how you want to do it. And then after this came in here, I made a little dot down in here on both sides, and I used this big washer. And what I did, I put it up on there, and I just drew from there to there. Whoops. From there to there. And then what I did is I didn't want to go up or down at this point in time. So what I did is I just got my ruler, and I kind of just made it level and just drew from the bottom of this one here a straight line out to there, and the same on this side, and caught these two little points right here. And then what I did is did I use this one? Yeah, I used this one to go, and then I made another little point in here. You see, I put little dots, that way I can, where I want to go to, and I drew that, and that gave me that little round shape there. A little something different from everything else. You got some curves going on, but this little bit different type of curve, real narrow, more straight. And then I decided, well, how do I want to work this? Well, after I made this thing, I made a little line coming out like this. You can see on each side. This all kind of blended together, but it gave me this little high points here. And what I did is I used this again. Let me do it on this side so you can see. And I put it on there and drew from there down to about here. That's how I got this shape here. And then what I did is this turn that came in here, I made another line with my ruler, and I didn't want it straight because I didn't want it close to this one. So I wanted it off a little bit. You can see how I'm kind of pointing the ruler downward. And so I came to out about this far. I didn't want to go past this design up here. And so I've got this line coming down here, and I got this line going straight. And so now I want to tie this one to this one. And I just happen to have this little plastic thing. I don't know where I got it. These shapes and stuff, I'll just hold on to them. And what I did is I put it on the bottom, catching the bottom of that and the top of this, and then I just draw my line from one to another. And that's what gave me that little design right here. So you got a little flat piece coming out on top of a little curvature, and you got this neat looking little design that came down off of this. This is all of this design here from the top of that, everything underneath it is all coming down, tying together into this. So that's all, this is all one design up here. This is another design underneath it. And then here you got your spear here that we did just upside down, pointing, the top pointing down here. And then what I did is I just came up here and I drew another spear in here and used my straight edge, just same principle. Drew a straight line. Just make sure that your widths from this center, say this is the center point, your widths here and here are staying the same. Sometimes I've had them where this one's real close and this one's a little far away. So you just want to try to keep everything really balanced as you possibly can. And then what I did is I got those spears in there and used my straight, just like I said, straight edge this one, came around, then got my ruler and just pulled the line on that. Then what I did is I turned it upside down because I wanted to go the opposite way with these bigger spears or whatever you want to call them, going just downward. That gives me kind of a little bit different look to this design. So I don't know if this helps you. I really hope it does. Like I said, when you're doing these designs, I must have erased from the bottom part of this. I kept this, but all this down in here, I must have erased it 8 or 10 times, trying to come up with what I liked and what caught my eye. And that's what you're going to have to do. And you want to do what you like. You don't have to do what anybody else does. Just draw your own thing out. If you like it, that's what you're going to pinstripe. And then what you do is I always start at the top when I pinstripe. I'll do my main spear down through here, then I'll come up here, and I just work myself from top to bottom when I'm doing things. And that's how you can do whatever colors you want. You can do this spear in blue and this one in blue, and then you can do these out here in a yellow or a gold, and you just, whatever color you like to be able to finish it. That's why this one here, when I did this is kind of just a stopping point, bringing that in. But this in here, you can color all that in on each side. That gives you a fill in of color. Then you can come down here and you can fill these ones in later on. There's a lot more that you can do. You can fill these ones in, all of this, and just kind of make, and however, what colors and whatever you like to do. Or you can just leave it the way it is and just leave it outlined. But that's how I do these designs. That's how I draw them out. These are the little tools that I use to be able to do it, because I'm not an artist at hand where I can just draw that out by hand. So I really hope you've enjoyed this video. I really hope it helps you and is encouraging you. And if there's anything else that you would like to come up with and see me do, please just leave me comments down below, and I would be more than happy to be able to do it. This took me a little longer to get to because I've been working on so many projects right now to get ready for summertime and taking my stuff out to the community. I've got a tent that I've, a little canopy thing I put up to put out my pinstripings and stuff. So once again, thank you for joining with me in this video. Once again, I hope you like it. If you do, leave me a comment down below. Give me a thumbs up or whatever you would like to do. Take care, have a great day, and we'll see you again in the next video.